Glad you are here, and I will start my presentation. I'm Ton Rombout, the editor-in-chief of SignPro Europe. This is the magazine, English written, a pan-European magazine. And I'd like to talk with you today about the marriage of printed and digital signage. There are quite a few sign companies and wide format print companies who look carefully at the moment at what's going on in the digital signage market, and I'd like to know, is it something for me? Is there something in it for me? So that's what it's all about, this presentation. Most companies involved in sign and wide format print production tend to see digital signage as a threat. Wouldn't it be better, though, to consider it a challenge and try to combine the two? This presentation aims to describe typical examples and experiences of companies that have done exactly that. My presentation starts with basic marketing information relating to the Ansoff matrix, and referring to the schedule, I will try to demonstrate why digital signage is more accessible to sign makers solely involved in analog sign and wide format printing than they have previously considered. As a journalist, I was invited to visit the FESPA summit in Munich a few months ago. The presentations were about expanding your existing product range by offering 3D printing, industrial printing, and even printed electronics. I didn't quite understand why people talk about printed electronics when they obviously have no idea how far removed this is from their own business. The same applies, in my opinion, of course, to 3D printing and perhaps also to industrial printing. That's why I picked up one of my old school books, looked at the matrix of Igor Ansoff, and tried to imagine what looking for new business entails. And here you will see the familiar, I think, product market metrics that we all learn in the marketing courses. For instance, when talking about change, the renowned company strategy matrix, the Ansoff matrix, on product and market differentiation and integration needs to be taken into account. Even simple product changes involve additions to applications for existing customers. More complex changes are associated with changes in what is on offer or technology changes involving a different customer audience. Well, when we look at the matrix, industrial or functional printing is usually not for us. In my opinion, companies, because we sign makers and wide format print production companies are reproducing and printing graphic promotional messages and signs. Industrial printing, on the other hand, is usually part of a factory production line dealing with the manufacture of, for example, metal, glass or wood products, and replacing earlier printing methods such as silk, screen, pad or flexo printing. Many of these factories use their own machines and do not need a print production or service provider to do the job for them. In that case, it perhaps relates not so much to a new product, but to an integrated, assimilated one with a totally different market. And the market is in fact for factories, the industrial market. An interesting market for factories producing print production, line machines, such as Durst, which modifies its existing row 1000 and 1030 printing systems for factories, where these machines are integrated in line into the existing production workflow. Or for manufacturers who like to work with new machines with existing technology, such as the row IP, to execute special inline jobs in the production line, for metallic canisters, for instance, with a security or safety print, all part of a usually much longer production line to manufacture the overall product. But perhaps there are some areas where industrial printing is reality already. Perhaps there's an industrial market in short run, on-demand features like printing on boxes, earphones, etc., like you see in the picture. Mimaki and also Roland developed smaller flatbed printers for these markets. And when we look at printed electronics, we also say no, as we look at the matrix of Ansoff. I also do not belong to those who believe that printed electronics is for us. And I'm afraid the same applies to printed electronics as to industrial printing, perhaps even more so. These types of machines, 3D machines, 3D printers, are bought by factories that make silicon-based conductors, etc. The market is different from what we have now, and furthermore, it is unstable because factories that are now outsourcing their work to a print service provider will end up doing the work in-house when they realize that 24/7 production on their own printing machines offer major advantages. So, 3D printing, no. And what about 3D printing? These machines are totally different from what we have now. Yes, it is all about printing, for instance, a crown for your tooth, but you are not a dentist, or to build a model, but you are not an architect. So the market you are in, or are trying to get into, is totally different. Different products, different markets. It would be hard to earn a living in this area. But there's another way to go. If you look at the combination of analog and digital signage, I have to say yes. In this respect, it seems strange that the FESPA summit highlighted new possibilities such as the 3D printing and/or printed electronics that require an entirely new group of customers and a different market. The summit did not really touch on digital signage, which, having a sign production company, in many ways represents a brilliant opportunity for existing customers, or at least a combination of both. Amazingly, almost no reference was made to what the European Sign Expo here at the show does these days at FESPA Digital. After all, adding digital signage to the printed signage range would be exactly the right thing to do. Sign production companies should be given the tools to enable them to provide simple digital signage solutions to their clients, and many of these solutions are already available on the market. A few examples. The first example I may give you is a company in Casablanca, Morocco, that is called Visual Impact. The company is doing conventional signage with the help of a new versatile EFI FoodTech GS2000 LX printing system. But there's another company of the same man, Let Go, is the digital signage company in the group Visual Impact, which manages all the digital equipment. And there is even a third company, operating a truck equipped with a very large Dectronics screen, Scala management software and a generator to provide live digital signage wherever it ventures in Morocco. And this is the man, Nabil Mikou. I visited the company recently, a month ago, and he is the owner of all the three companies. He can choose printed and digital signage as well, while for the Marrakesh Film Festival, the Casablanca Music Festival, and other major events staged by hotels, the government, banks, insurance companies, he also exploits his super wide Dectronics screen on a truck with a generator. It can be very hot in Morocco. Quite a business. And another example here. You will have from a company that is called Rota Panel, perhaps familiar to you. The second example is the Dutch company Rota Panel in Leeuwarden, the Netherlands. Already for years well known in providing rotating panels to sign production companies. A few years ago, this company started with providing digital screens, which you can simply handle with a USB memory stick to run the program. A perfect start for many sign makers who wish to make their first steps in the digital signage area. The only thing you have to do, put the program on the USB stick, put it in the machine, and it runs. Nowadays they have a complete range of rather simple to handle products for digital signage. And you see some of them on the picture. And again, back to the Ansoff matrix, now a bit more specialized. We are in the first part. This, I think, here. I don't know if you see this. Does the light work? Yeah? I can't see it. So it's all about what we call existing products, existing markets, the market penetration. Let's focus on product innovation, the creation and the subsequent introduction of goods and services that are either new or better than earlier goods or services. Product innovation is defined as the development of new products, changes in established product design, or the use of new materials or components in the manufacture of established products. So product innovation can be divided into two innovation categories: new product development and improvement of existing products. New products and services are the lifeblood of successful businesses, and yet more than 80% of new products fail. Even successful launches don't always result in top-line growth. Well, a few examples, some examples again in this case. What you see here on the left, perhaps you've seen it last year in Milan, a combination of digital signage, a screen built in a big billboard on the Duomo in Milan. And the other one is in the more down over there, is the Fries Museum in Leeuwarden, the Netherlands, where they combined digital signage, digital screens, together with analog printed signage. And here there are a few other examples. Market development is a growth strategy which identifies and develops new market segments for current products. However, digital signage is a new but already existing product for an existing market. Exactly the market which is most familiar to you as a sign maker or a wide format printer. Here you see what JC Deco did in Paris. They had many places where you can have information on digital screens in many ways. And if you do some research yourself of what your products are in and how you can widen it to some other products in the digital signage area, this one is very important for you. Ansoff developed a product market growth matrix to help businesses identify whether there was any advantage to entering a market. For instance, market penetration is one of the growth strategies. Market penetrations can be defined as the proportion of people in the target who bought at least once in the period a specific brand or a category of goods. Same product, same market. And there are, of course, other growth strategies. You can have product development, existing markets, new products. For instance, McDonald's always operates in the fast food industry, same market, but frequently markets new burgers. New product development is the overall process of bringing a new product to market. A product is defined as a set of benefits offered in exchange and can be tangible, something you can physically touch, or intangible, a service or an experience or a belief. And then you have market development, new markets, existing products. For instance, Lucozade was first marketed for sick children and then rebranded to target athletes. And then the most difficult one is diversification. And there are some examples like Selectron, who were in a special market with special product and who were choosing for new markets with new products. That's the most difficult thing, diversification. Product diversification requires the addition of new products to existing ones, either manufactured or marketed. Expansion of the existing product line with associated products is one such method adopted by many businesses. Adding toothbrushes to toothpaste, tooth powder or mouthwash under the same brand or under different brands aimed at different segments is one way of diversification. These are either brand or product extensions to increase the volume of sales and number of customers in the same market. But you also have a different market, different products. And that is you have the 4 possibilities with diversification as the most difficult one. And here you have the different types of diversification strategies. You can do internal development of new products and markets. You can acquire a firm. You can have an alliance with a complementary company. You can license new technologies. You can distribute or importing a product or let it be manufactured by another firm. Well, diversification is the most risky and requires careful investigation, of course. So when we come back to the meaning of printed signage versus digital signage, then it is rather easy. Digital signage is more than just printing on digital screens. It requires a computer and a program that is able to visualize many different things, updated every day, hour, minute, or even second, to refresh information, news, education, messages at any time, to combine text, images, and video into a readable, agreeable mix of entertainment and information. Many of these messages are promotional or paid for by companies involved in the same business as the sign and wide format print business. So the product is different, but has many similar characteristics, and the market is virtually the same. People and companies interested in analog signage and wide format print are also interested in the kind of messages they receive from digital screens. So it's all about, of course, communication. And well, recently at Integrated Systems Europe, we saw some examples like this. Digital car wrapping, for instance. Many examples of digital signage on screens, which is immediately understandable for sign makers and wide format print production companies, can be found in today's market. It is clear that these companies are already into digital because their entire prepress is digital and has been for years. Only the end products are different. Here's some samples of warehouses, supermarkets. Recently I've been to the Limbecker Platz in Essen, perhaps it's familiar to you, where they have many installations of digital signage already and with different purposes for the visitors of the shops in the place, in the Limbecker Platz. And here you have some more possibilities. We all know about QR codes, but the most boring of QR codes at the moment is that you use the QR code, you go to a website and that's all. So it's no more than that. But there are applications already where you can get a menu on your telephone screen and where you can do more things than just go to a website. You can go in front of the window of a shop window and do different things to look at special items in a shoe shop or something like that. So walking around at the biggest show in this area, Integrated Systems Europe, a rather technical show on digital signage to be held each year in Amsterdam Rai, you can experience many rather simple solutions for offering digital signage to your sign clients. And yes, with the entrance of 4K digital screens, on the market, the resolution is not an issue anymore. So there was always a lot of remarks about the resolution of digital screens, but with 4K it's over. During our visits to the FISCOM shows in Paris, Milan and Düsseldorf last year, we also saw many applications for digital signage. And we saw also one very interesting application for digital signage that was done by Caldera software for the managing of screens. And Caldera is typically a company making, as you may know, all of you, making software for RIP environments, production workflow and so on. So they have made in an easy way the tools also for managing digital screens. And now they are in the business of digital signage. So also the factories or companies making analog printing stuff or for pre-press of printing stuff are going to do more business in digital signage. And of course, to make some promotion, you can also go during this show to the European Sign Expo. During this show, Sign Expo is providing the same kind of applications, only the name is still a bit misleading in my opinion, offering other but familiar products to almost the same market. That's quite a positive challenge in my opinion. Thank you for listening to me. And if there are any questions, don't hesitate to post them.